Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today is episode 2 of our twin fin pool party at BSR Waco Surf. I had a great time with Britt Merrick and some of the Texas boys. Check it out. So Mark, stoked to see you in the pool riding twin fins. So I think you were riding this free scrubber first, right?
That's right. Yeah, free scrubber was the first. It's really the first twin fin that I've ridden here. It's really awesome. I was riding thrusters the whole time and finally got onto this. I ran into Britt Merrick and he shaped me this thing, hand-shaped at his house. It's just beautiful. I love this board. It's got a lot of foam up front, but the twin fin just really makes it really loose. And I can do turns, I can catch up to the barrel, I can catch up on my turns, and I don't get bogged down like I do on a thruster. So, I mean, I've been telling people I'm probably not going to go back to thrusters just because I love the feeling of the twin fin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, this is what you've been riding. I saw you riding the twin fin. This is Britt's, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about what this felt like compared to that.
This one's a little more maneuverable, a little thinner, a little looser. This one's a little thicker. It's got thicker rails, more of an older style, kind of more of flow, kind of like Michael February's board. It feels super fun, but the tail is just awesome. Even though it's probably suited better for bigger waves, it really goes well out here. I can just sit back on the tail and move it around like I want to. I can turn really hard, it holds into the barrel, and it's super responsive with this round tail on the back. I just love that.
Sick.
So I'm really loving both of them. I'm not sure which one to ride. So now I've got, this one had Britt's fins on it, and then these has your HP twins on it. I really love these HP twins on the free scrubber, and then these just fit together because they're made for it. So I'm gonna try Britt's fins on this board and see how they go and just move around, because change fins, it's amazing how much it makes a difference.
Guys, welcome to Surf and Show, Mark. This is what we do all day long, every day.
Awesome.
Stoked to hear you're having fun.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. I love to be on it. I love their show. I always watch. Love it when you get to come out to Texas.
Stoked to be with Ed, Twin Fin Pool Party. Ed, I'm like the most proud of you, bro, because I know you were riding a lot of thrusters, and then you got this Aquila Ipa mod fish, and you've been running twin plus trailer. Tell us a little bit about this board and how it feels compared to a thruster for you.
Well, so first of all, probably the first time ever riding a board that's really truly a twin. One thing I noticed right away is that because of the EPS construction, it is significantly lighter than anything I've ever had before. And the incredible amount of speed I'm getting from the back of the board was something that I was not prepared for. So having that set up and having a twin plus one, it was an amazing board. I love this board in this pool. It goes very, very well. It's just a great all-around board for this pool. It's small, it fits in the pocket. When you get in the critical sections there, when it starts to barrel, it just holds the line and it keeps it steady.
Sick. Yeah. Tell us about the Fishbeard. I know that you've just got that and you started riding it here for the pool party, right?
Yes, correct. So I rode this Fishbeard on the last couple sessions. I had the Al Merrick keels. Very different board. Obviously it's a bit heavier than this board. Turning, it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit more like a twin.
Right.
So I really had to lean into my turns, take my time, which is actually a good thing because I think I rushed my turns a little too much.
Sure.
So it was different, very different. But I noticed that coming up on the wave, on the face of the wave, it really had a little bit more speed than this board, just slightly.
Right.
But it's just a different board altogether. I like it. I want to ride a couple more.
Stoked to have Kevin in the twin fin pool party. You've been riding twin fins for a little while now, right? So you got the Fishbeard. You're normally a thruster guy. When did you get on this?
I think I bought it in January. I got on it around March.
Okay.
So I had 2 months of no surfing with a new board. I've always liked twin fins. What I like about this that I don't get from a thruster is that when you do a turn or you come off the bottom, there's no drag. It just accelerates and climbs the wave, and you can hit the top a lot easier. It's easier all around to surf. It does great cutbacks.
Nice.
It handles the foam ball well too with the wide fin set and no trailer back there. And every time I think I want to ride a thruster here, I'll ride that, and it just doesn't end up the same. I have more fun on the twin fin.
More fun. So tell us about the different fins you've been running the Fishbeard.
Okay, so I started off with the Al Merrick keel fins, the gray ones, and I really like those. They hold really well. They're fast. They're drivey. But they don't get vertical very easy on this wave. It's not a big wave, so yeah, it has a little larger turning arc. But I've also ridden your high performance keels, and those do get vertical a lot quicker.
Yeah, the HP twins.
Yeah. I've had like 3 waves on these, and I really liked them so far, but our session got canceled, so now I'm waiting for the next one to come up. And I think they're going to go really well. It felt really good. I like them. They're large enough. They don't feel slippery. Yeah, they're nice and stiff too. So,
Andy, this has been an incredible pool party. Twin fins only. We've been talking about it all weekend.
Yeah, we have.
And I know you're a thruster guy.
Yes.
And getting on the Fishbeard, I really had to twist your arm.
Right.
But I'm stoked to watch you surf on it. Tell us how it's going.
Well, first of all, I actually wrote it just so I had some practice before you got here, and I had a different fin. And I put on yours, which are the
HP twins.
HP twins, and it was like a new board. It felt like, I remember the first 30 minutes of going backside, I'm like, I'm riding a thruster. It didn't feel like a twin and has so much speed. And then on the lefts, I was going so fast, I had to like slow down and like just relax a little bit because it just goes. So super fun, especially in the pool.
Yeah. So would you say you like the speed of the twin fin? Are you noticing any less pivot with it compared to your thruster?
So yesterday, and I think it was the 5 o'clock session on wave 1, on my right, I got both fins out of the water, which I don't do at 55. And I think you said to me, that was the best turn I've ever seen you make. And I asked you today, I'm like, I'm not doing that on my thruster. And also, I think what works good in the pool is the spine tech, the epoxy. I saw you on the epoxy today, and sometimes the epoxy and the pool specifically, that extra speed just goes. And with these fins, it's really going. So got to slow it down and relax a little bit and get my back foot further back on the twin and learn how to surf it. But can't wait for 2 more hours of it.
You having fun?
I've always had a blast.
Well, Andy is the host, and he organizes all this stuff. And this is my 5th time coming to visit you and the boys. And we've actually become pretty darn good friends, dude. And Aaron and I can't thank you enough. So stoked, Asa. You were the only interview that we didn't get at the pool, but you rode all the boards I brought. I felt like you were shredding on all of them. We were having so much fun, you and I switching boards, having a great time. Yeah. What was it like, and what was your favorite? What do you think?
Oh man, of the 4 boards that we rode, I think my favorite at the end of the day, even though I only rode it for 1 hour and I rode the IPA 2 hours, was the Rusty Twin. Yep. I think it was. The board just felt like it had crazy drive off the bottom and it pivoted well, and it was definitely the most linkable board in my opinion. But then the IPA was right behind it. I rode that one for 2 hours. Which I enjoyed as well. So those are my top 2.
Sick. Okay, so twin fin thruster. I know you got on a Fishbeard most recently. The last time we came, you rode mine. And so what's that like at the pool for you, switching from a normal thruster and now you're riding twin fins?
I mean, it's a huge adjustment for sure because I've been a thruster guy most of my life. But man, I'm having a blast at 45 years old to jump on twin this late in life and to really just kind of start linking it and having fun with it. It's fun. I'm stoked on twins. I can't wait to go back next weekend to BSR and ride my Fishbeard and spend more time on Fishbeard.
Sure.
And just watching some of the other guys out there, some of our other buddies like Andy and Ed and those guys ride the twin and go from, oh, I hate the twin, this is so weird, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, just let the board do its work. Go back to your surfing that you know how to do, and don't be afraid to push it. Yeah. And next you know, Andy's doing some of the best turns of his life.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. And Aaron and I were saying the same. Most people, and I talked to a lot of people about boards and equipment, a lot of people are just afraid of twin fins because we grew up on thrusters. So to watch the boys step outside their comfort zone and do some sick turns, they were all going faster than they knew what to do with.
Right.
And I think that's one of the most fun about twin fins is how fast you're going. There's no drag, and like you're saying, coming off the bottom and getting in the lip, it happens quick.
Last time when we were here, you pulled out the Fishbeard, which is a board I've done a ton of time on, and it just kind of looked like the most fun board that day.
Absolutely.
So we're like, okay, twin fins. So in preparing for this, I brought 4 different twin fins. One is a twin pin that you and I both spent a lot of time on. And then another one is a prototype for a follow-up to the twin pin that I'm doing with Mikey February that's more of a groveler.
Yep.
Right? If this is more suited toward better waves, it's more of a groveler, Mikey Feb's twin. And then I brought one that I'm working on with Tom Curran, which is what he's riding in the Free Scrubber movie.
Sick.
So that's a free scrubber. And I actually rode that one on a few waves last time, and it felt good. So I brought another one of those. And then this new one, which I'm calling it a Tquad. It's not a twin, it's not a quad. It's a twin and a quad, it's a Tquad.
Right.
Because this is one that I'm working on with Dame Reynolds, and it's a CI and Former collab. And originally it was a twin fin. So Dane came to me a couple years ago, and he had this idea of just a rocker sort of profile that he wanted, where there's more bend in the middle of the board. And then the outline that he wanted was pretty parallel rails.
Yep.
So like a narrow, longer, more rockery twin fin. And I hand shaped one of those a while ago, and it was an ASIM. And the thing that really clicked about that was the rocker. So we started working with that rocker going forward. And now it's gotten to this thing. And Dane shaped most of this. He came up with that moontail and the nose outline and the foil and thickness profile. That's all really Dane. He's actually been getting in the shaping room and doing that.
Sick.
My main contribution was the rocker and the bottom contours. And it was originally a twin. And then Dane just wanted to experiment a bit. We tried a twinser, right? Which is that old concept you remember with the leading little fins in front of the twins. And that kind of felt weird. So then we moved the leading fins to trailers and had them really close to the twin, just the opposite of a twinser.
Right.
And now we've just moved them off the rail a little bit more. So not quite where quad fins would be, but closer to the twin. So it's the Tquad, the twin quad.
Sick.
And I'm super pumped on this board. For me, this board's working the best out of everything that I've ridden so far on this trip. It's just really clicking, feels really solid, really free, really loose. Dane's been loving it. So it's going to be released through Former. There's only going to be 40 made available globally. And Dane's been getting in the glass shop and doing the resin tints himself. I did this resin tint on this one myself.
Sick. That's fun.
But for the ones that we're going to sell domestically, US and in Japan, Dane will do the resin tints himself. So it's just a pretty cool project, pretty fun, and Dane's been really involved in the shaping room. And I'm kind of stoked as a shaper designer to get to try something that he was so like hands-on in.
Right.
I'm used to making stuff for his wishes, but when he's actually hands-on and actually shaping and creating that stuff, I'm pretty stoked to get on it and really enjoy it. So that's been fun.
Sick. Now I will say that Britt's the only one not following the rules, but because he's Britt Merrick, we let him ride, what's this thing called? A Tquad?
A Tquad.
A Tquad instead of
a twin quad.
Instead of a twin fin. And the whole twin fin pool party was his idea.
Well, yeah, if you make it up, then you could make exceptions. I got work to do, man.
Sick, Britt. Hey, it's a pleasure having you on the show, and
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
always fun hanging.
Always fun hanging.
Cheers.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Episode 3's up next. We're going to dive into looking at the footage on a couple boards, breaking it down. This is going to be fun. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.